que vous pouvez lever la main? Ok.
Qui a entrepris déjà, ça marche.
Ou qui a entrepris déjà? Voilà. Ah, il y en a beaucoup quand même. Ok. Ça filme, c'est bon, je peux commencer. Hi. 90%. 90% is the percentage of entrepreneurs who failed. So only 10% succeeded. That's according to a recent Startup Genome study. And the chances of success are even lower in the tech industry. But that did not stop me. And the odds were even against me. I mean, my parents are against entrepreneurship. My age, the numbers, the stats on success, many things were against me for the odds of success. So my name is Bardoul, and I'm a 23-year-old serial tech entrepreneur. And like I said, my family was against me becoming an entrepreneur, I believe like many families, because their generation sees entrepreneurship as very risky, and they advocate for the financial security of a regular employee job. And many other people as well tried to discourage me, even before I started entrepreneurship. And the people who tried to discourage me were almost always people who knew nothing about entrepreneurship. Nothing about entrepreneurs. And that's why today I want to talk about the subject and title of my speech, which is Entrepreneurs Are Not Who You Think. And to tackle the subject, I want to first start by talking more about me, why I'm here today, and where do my ideas and examples come from. And then we'll see together how people envision entrepreneurship. And then we'll confront that with the reality. So for me, like other speakers, everything started when I was finishing high school. I had to choose what type of studies I wanted to do, what type of job, approximately, I'd like to do. And I had no idea, no clue. So I started watching videos on YouTube about different jobs, trendy jobs, hot jobs, jobs that were well-paying. And I came across videos on Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, all those very fascinating, inspiring people. And I watched the movie on Mark Zuckerberg, how he founded Facebook. And that was the click. That day, I told myself I wanted to be a serial tech entrepreneur. And only 6 months after starting my first year of business school, with only the bare minimum of skills and only the fundamentals of business, marketing, finance, sales, I started my very first startup. It was an app and platform sharing data between gyms and gym clients. So on the gym clients, their data, weights, objectives, evolution. And with that, we were creating personalized and optimized food programs. So we were really excited. We were hyped about the project. And for months, we worked really hard, for months and months and months. And you guys all know what happened at the beginning of 2020. Bam, the COVID hit. Gyms started closing in France. And the prices of food supplies skyrocketed. So we had to put a stop and a pause on the project. I was really sad, to be honest. 1 year later, when the COVID started slowly decreasing and when gyms started reopening, I took back out of the drawer the project, and once again, super excited. I started working on it for months, really hard. And second crisis. This time, it was the Russia-Ukraine war. So prices of food supplies started increasing largely again, and the gyms were still not financially healthy after the COVID. So we're in a bad situation, and we put on pause the project. So that was my first entrepreneurial experience. I failed, but I learned a lot. And then after that, 6 months after this failure, I decided to get back into entrepreneurship again. But this time with an easier project, one that is still in tech, but has a lower financial initial investment. So I decided to start a tech founders community. And again, I worked really hard on it. And the story behind how I founded this is really funny because I was in the plane getting back from vacation, back to Paris, and I was bored during the 3 hours flight. After only 10 minutes, I didn't know what to do. So I started thinking about business ideas, and directly I got the idea, and I wanted to write it down immediately on a paper, take action immediately. So I asked the steward to give me a pen and a paper. She came back. She only gave me a pen. So I found a vomit paper bag next to my seat, and I wrote my business plan on that vomit paper bag. And I wrote a logo, a name for the company, and at the end of the 3 hours of the plane flight, I had a business plan, I had a name for the company, I had a logo, and the next day, I was so excited, going super fast. I had bought an internet domain name and created a first version of the website. Today, now it's Horizontronic, and we have a very prestigious event in June with 60 successful tech entrepreneurs and 6 very well-known speakers. It started from a plane flight. After that, I joined co-founders and became myself a co-founder at Stargate Holographics. So we sell hologram machines internationally. We even now have beautiful offices in Paris and a growing team of 6 people. And more recently, I have started working on AI projects. So I do a lot of things. Some people tell me that just one company is hard and has a chance of failing, so 3 projects. So now you know a bit more about my entrepreneurial journey. And a lot of people tell me that I'm kind of like the stereotype of the entrepreneur. I mean, I'm American. I grew up in California. I'm a 23-year-old serial tech entrepreneur. I'm still in school. I almost dropped out of school. I hated school. And also, I work in my garage, which is actually real. But I have my hologram machines in my garage, stocked over there, and I train to pitch, and I stock all my equipment there. But that is not the reality of most entrepreneurs. Not all entrepreneurs are serial tech entrepreneurs working in their garages in California. No. And a lot of people believe that most of the successful startups were founded by people in their 20s. False. A Harvard Business Review study indicates that 45% of the successful startups were founded by people in their 40s. And that is not surprising, because time means experience, skills, contacts, and previous failure. Failure is what gets you to success. So the age that people envision for entrepreneurs in the 20s is false. You have to fail before. Then some people think that entrepreneurs are born. Again, totally false. Bill Gates, he's not from an entrepreneur family. Myself, I'm from a family that is against entrepreneurship. I have no business entrepreneurs in my family. So entrepreneurs are not born. Then another misconception. I see a lot of young people here, and you probably have Instagram. You watch or you look at content of entrepreneurs or business influencers on Instagram. A lot of them sell entrepreneurship as easy, and you can rapidly make a lot of money. The famous can make 10K a month in only 3 months. You guys all know this. But just before, you heard that 90% of entrepreneurs fail. And you see on Instagram entrepreneurs sipping their margaritas by their pool and with their computer on their laptop, working like that. E-business, e-commerce. But that's not representative of most startuppers. Another misconception. The older generations see entrepreneurship as the total opposite as young people. In their generations, entrepreneurship was almost not taught at school. They have less knowledge than us. We have social media, we see a lot of content on entrepreneurs and all. But before, they didn't have that. And they saw entrepreneurship, and they still see, for some older people, entrepreneurship as too risky, not worth it. My parents, for instance, or some people in my family, they see it as just throwing away money. they don't understand the passion that a lot of entrepreneurs have. When I wake up in the morning, I'm excited to go to work. How many people can say that? Of course, I failed. I lost money before. And the last, I wouldn't say misconception, but sometimes a lot of people forget that very small businesses are also founded by entrepreneurs. A very tiny bakery in a small town in the mountains, the person who founded it is an entrepreneur. A sports club or sports team, the person who founded it is an entrepreneur. A medical private infrastructure, also entrepreneurship. So now you know a bit more of the reality of entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship. And I want to give you 3 keys, like she said, or 3 advices. And the very first advice is do not take advice from everyone. Filter the advice you get, even if it's from your family, your friends. A lot of people give you advice when they don't even know the subject. So choose carefully. And for example, you will be discouraged, all of you, to pursue careers with risk. And the people who will try to discourage you, they know nothing about what you're trying to do. A second advice, this one, don't filter it, it's really important. Start right away. The sooner, the better. There's no, like she said, there's no perfect timing or moment or place to wait for to start a business. The sooner you fail, the sooner you will know success. And the last advice, that is supplement to the second one. So I told you guys, take action right now, but then how do you take action? Think about 2 things. The first thing, what is your greatest passion or greatest hobby? It can be a sport, it can be anything. And secondly, where are you really good at, above average? Link both of them together and try to find a business idea that links both and that has a market need. For example, if you are passionate about tennis and you have been playing tennis for many years, and at the same time you're really good at coding AI solutions, and there's a need on the market, why not create an AI for tennis? That's an example. But all of you have skills where you're better than average, and you all have passions. So you all have somewhere a business idea that is hidden inside of you. And now the last words for the end. There isn't one type of entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are diverse, and the diversity is the beauty. Thank you, everyone. J'ai oublié le papier des 90%. Non, bah c'était galère de ramener.